Today my name is Dherrick Quammie, and
I'm Akiel Thomas, and right now we are here with Anna, who is a, what type of athlete are you?
I'm a middle and long distance runner.
Awesome. Right, so we're gonna ask her some simple questions about herself and what she does. So Anna, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good, nice. So the first question I have for you, right? Why did you decide to become an athlete?
Okay, so I've been an athlete or been involved within the physical fitness world for approximately 9 to 10 years. It's been a decision that was made a very long while ago. My dad was an athlete since he was young, and it generationally passed on to me. I've seen him race, I've seen him compete at different levels, and for me it was always a personal goal to be like him one day. So that is one of the main reasons why I started off doing what I do. But I've grown to love it, and I've grown to seriously find a passion within me, which is why I'm currently studying to become a PE teacher, so in that way my job becomes something that I like.
makes sense.
So would you say that you have your family support?
I have my family's full support. My mother, brother, sister, and father are at all my races, are at the majority of my training sessions. I have their full support when it comes to diet, when it comes to training. I definitely have my family's full support.
Right. So having their full support, you said your dad has a certain amount of achievements. Does that create any pressure on you to achieve or do more than him or do better than him?
Yes, to a point, because there was a point in time during my journey that it did become pressure. It did place some sort of pressure on me as a young athlete, and I always was like, you know what, daddy did this at this particular age, I want to do it at an age younger. And I actually did beat one of his, I would call it, records, where he climbed El Takush being the second highest mountain in Trinidad and Tobago, and he climbed El Takush when he was 30 years of age, and I climbed El Takush when I was 15 years of age. So that was my first one of his achievements that I outdone. But yes.
So you broke his record.
So I broke his record. But yes.
How you felt about that?
He was proud. He was really, really proud because he didn't think that I was capable, and me doing it showed him that I was definitely capable of doing it, and he liked the fact that he could boast and say, now my daughter did it at a younger age compared to when I was there.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome achievement though, because not much children could actually outdo perform better than their parents.
Yeah.
Right? These days it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It
right,
is,
to
it
achieve.
definitely is.
Right, so we're talking about performance. Have you ever felt like you ever reached the point where you feel like giving up?
Yes, there are points in time. So I've done 3 half marathons in my racing career thus far. Strongly going to increase that by this year because I plan to do 3 more. And I actually plan to do the Trinidad International Marathon next January. So those are some of my goals that I want to get accomplished within the next 12 to 14 months, right? I have felt like giving up within one of these half marathons that I did, which was the USPEC International Half Marathon. And I reached to the point...
This year?
No, not last year, the year before. And I didn't put in the training that I thought was necessary for the race. But my coach and my dad were like, hey, you know you could do it. Why not go out there and try it? So I went out, and when I turned the corner by the half mark, how the course is situated, you run up a path and then you run back down the same path, right? Which is part of the bus route. And they're like, yeah, let's go. So I jumped out and I went and I ran. I was at the half mark and I was like, Dread, no way. I don't think I could finish this race. I personally think I want to just sit down on the pavement and cry. But I ended up pushing through. It was my worst half marathon time though, which was 3 hours and a couple minutes. But I learned determination that day. I definitely learned that it was a mind over matter situation. and that I was definitely capable of more than I thought. So I thought that I could have just sat down and or just slow down and just walk, but somehow I had this drive and determination to just keep pushing, and I actually jogged and still finished the race. When a lot of times I thought during that period that I was just going to cap out and wait for an ambulance to pick me up and not finish that race.
What made you continue?
Oh, a lot of things made me continue. All my supporters at the finish line that were there. At that point in time, I was a lot younger, right? Which was like 2 years ago. And all my supporters were there. All my friends, all my fellow athletes that were there with me. My entire club, we went on like 25 people that day to run that race. And I'm like, coach is waiting on the finish line for me. Daddy is waiting on the finish line for me. Everybody is there.
Yeah,
how is it going to look that I get picked up in an ambulance and then end up there? No way, that can't work. I need to crawl across that finish line, even if it means crawling. So that was my main thing to get it done. And then that was my second half marathon at that point in time. So I didn't want to say I started the second one and didn't get to finish it.
Yeah.
So I wanted that bragging right, for loss of a better word, that I actually still did it even though it was a challenge.
All right, I understand that. Cool. Right, so you said there were a lot of people at the finish line. Were any of your peers involved or involved in your fitness journey?
I have a lot of peers that are involved in my fitness journey, yes. My club, which I train with, there's a group of us that our parents started us all along the same age bracket. So we basically grew together as a group of people. We started running together. We run against each other. We pull each other. We strengthen each other.
Friendly
the guys,
competition.
we have friendly competition. The guys help strengthen the girls. A lot of time when we do speed work on the playground, the guys would pull us. Or when we feel vice versa, we just tend to lean and feed off each other's strength.
So that helps to build
It
what you have.
definitely helps to build what we have, and it builds us as individuals, and it teaches us teamwork, it teaches us that cooperation, it teaches us just to lean on each other and not be solely dependent on ourselves.
Awesome.
Right, so continuing with the interview, right, as well, my turn to ask a few questions here. So the first question I have here is, before like you take part in an event, right? So say you're now reached the event, do you have a kind of ritual or routine that you do before?
So I wouldn't call it a ritual, but if I get to an event before, if it's the first time that I'm doing that event, I want to get a feel of the surroundings. So I'll take in the surroundings a bit, I'll walk around. If I could get a feel of the course like prior to the event, I would prefer to get a feel of the course before. So like as I mentioned, the USPEC International Half Marathon, the first time I ever did that, I wasn't allowed to use the course to practice or to train on. So it was my first time ever seeing that course. But the second time when I did it, I knew the course. So it was a lot easier just to mentally prepare myself for the event. So basically, the thought process I would go through, I'll start stretching, I'll start putting on my gear that I want to race in that day because I want to get something light, something comfortable. Tying my shoelaces, tucking them in, etc. because that's a lot of stuff that keep back on a race, right? The thought process would just be basically keeping a calm head because I have a serious problem with my anxiety, and my anxiety would go skyrocket just as I'm about to begin that. And that screws up my heart rate, which throws everything off, and then my mental just goes running. And so it's important for me as an individual to definitely keep a clear mind. So I mean, I practice imagery sometimes where I would picture what I want to do and how I want to do it, but in reality, I prefer have a clear mind just before I get started.
Do you think that having a clear mind before helps you perform better? So
Yes.
say like if you now reach a race and you don't have the time, like if you run late somehow and you reach last minute or something, would it help you?
Even if I am last minute, even if I am on the starting line standing, I still need to stop,
Center yourself and
center myself, clear my head before I get out there.
focus on what you have to do.
Focus on what I have to do, pray, and go.
Okay, that's good, that's good. In terms of your performance, how well do you handle when you perform badly?
Well, to be very honest, nobody likes to lose, right? But I see losing and not reaching my target goal as a form of improvement for myself. So I take it upon myself to see where I went wrong, what I did wrong. It may be simply as tying my shoelace too tight and getting cramps. Or it may be simply having something for breakfast that I wasn't supposed to have. And it ended up affecting me along the race, right? So for me, I don't like losing or not accomplishing the target goal that I
Nobody
set.
like losing. Nobody like losing.
But it's a learning experience. I use all my experiences as learning experience to build it to become better.
That's good. That's really good because there are a lot of athletes these days, they will lose and they will use that as a reason to drop out of what they're doing. But
I mean, I still cry. I would still cry after an event if I'm not very pleased.
But after that, when you see you lose, you say, all right, next time we're going out, 10 times better.
Exactly. And I use it as that motivation to keep, all right, if I didn't do as well as I did in this one, I have a month to train, I have a month to prepare myself for the next one. So I definitely don't go back down this road, but I'll go down a different road to get different results.
All right. So seeing how you're saying that's how you go back on your performance. Do you think that reflection is important after every event?
I am big on reflection. If you know me well, I have journals, not one journal, but multiple journals for different aspects of life. So reflection is a huge deal for me. I reflect on everything. I reflect on my days, just a general, a day in review. I reflect on every single event that I do. I also manage events, so I manage events and reflect on what went wrong at this event so that I'll be able to prep for the other event differently. So for me, reflection is a really, really big deal, and I see it as a form of helping, making improvements, making changes where necessary, deducting where is necessary, adding, adjusting to weather conditions, other environmental factors that may come into play. I see reflection as a really, really integral part of any aspect of life.
That's true, that's true. You said earlier you described the thought process before when you were clear your head, but you could explain the thought process during the event and after.
So during the event, I would say my thought process would vary because, so let's take a 5K for example. At the start of the 5K, it's a shorter distance than if it was a half marathon or a 10K or a 15K, right? And my process at the start line would be, okay, so it's a 5K. What time do I think I want to do? How is the weather like? How do I feel physically? How do I feel mentally? Do I think I'm gonna have competition along the way? Who is my competition? Do I know them? Could I use them to bite and could I use them to steal their step while going? Could I use them to pull me? And basically just thinking about tactics during the race. So probably I know a lot of my fellow athletes within my age range, within my jurisdiction of the running world. So for me, I was like, hey, look, that's my friend. I'm going to bite with her and I'm going to continue to run with her just to steal her stride, just to keep that momentum, just to keep that motivation, to keep that drive, to get it done. But there may be times where I'll have like silly thoughts like, hey, I'm hungry. I really want something to eat. I want to get this race done so I could just get something to eat. And so that's like during what happens. At the end, the accomplishment feeling is absolutely amazing. I could have had the worst race as long as I get a medal and I cross the finish line. For me, that is a huge, huge, huge achievement. And which is why I started this whole, if a lot of y'all follow me on social media, know I have Anna Jumps.
I was actually going to ask you about this earlier.
The Anna Jumps are basically, they started off on finish lines to show that freedom, to show that accomplishment, to show that, hey, I got this done today. I got this done for the whole entire year when I put all these things together. So that is where that celebratory part of it comes in. And crossing the finish line on its own brings that joy and that accomplishment, and no level of anxiety or depression could ever outwin that feeling of achievement.
That's cool. That's really cool. Could you recall your best performance? What would you say was your best ever performance?
My best ever performance. That would probably be when I ran 5K in 23 minutes, which was the fastest time that I ever done for a while. I did a 23-minute 5K. It was at the Queen's Park Savannah. And I can't distinctively remember who hosted. It was the Kiss Kiss Baking Company. It was their 5K in January of that year. I was 16 years of age when I did it. I won first in my age category, and I was the third female to finish the race that year. Which for me, being young, that was a huge deal, and that felt really good. And I saw that one race motivate a lot of my younger athletes that were under me within my club. And the next year, well, that was the last year for me to run in that age category and to run. No, I still ran, but that was last year to run in that age category. And the next year that we went back and we ran, our club won the first 3 in that age category. And that was because they were motivated by me doing that. So that was one of my best performances that I've ever done. I haven't run a 23-minute 5K in a very long while, but I definitely strive to run in it one of these good days, or probably even something less.
The last time I did a 5K I did 27 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was the Colors run in Skinner Park.
Color splash.
Yeah. So,
But yeah.
I ain't even bought in my side. That was the question. Are you training for any races coming up?
Yes, I'm currently training for Fusion Adventure races for Fusion Light 2020, which is a partner event. So my daddy's my partner, of course. We did it 2 years back when they had it at Maracas. And it was a really nice experience, and we intend to do it again this year. So this year we hosted in Tobago. So I'm currently putting in a lot of training. Yeah, we will be flying out for the weekend. Currently putting in a lot of training targeted towards that event. So we've been doing a lot more trail runs. We've been doing a lot more strength training rather than just distance, because we need the power to get it done.
So you're very training based on what events you have coming up.
Yes.
That's really important.
It's very important because for me, I can't train on the road and then expect to race off-road or on a trail. That just psychologically off. Because for me, I want to train in somewhat a similar environment as much as the race is going to be. So for example, Fusion starts at 10 o'clock. Now that is going to be some serious hot sun. So my daddy has me climatizing with more training these couple of days other than my school days, so more my Saturdays and Sundays and Wednesdays, where I've been doing 10 o'clock runs just to climatize, just to get my body adjusted to the heat, a lot of water intake, etc. If I need energy gels, etc. Just so that I get a feel of what I'm going out into on the end of a match.
Okay. That makes sense. I understand now. So
Preparation.
Preparation is very important. Do you have anything you would like to say to any upcoming athletes, or what would you say now to yourself starting back when you started?
Oh, I would have started way before.
You would have said?
I would have literally started, because I started when I was about 9 years old, right? And I started competing at 13. But I started training at 9. And I would literally start earlier. So like I currently have a 7-year-old brother, and I've started him already, and he likes it. It's not that I'm forcing it upon him, but he grew up in it. He was born into it. So we've started training him already. We've started getting him involved in running as itself. We've have him running laps, etc., training with us. I actually saw him 2 nights ago squatting with a bar with a 5-pound dumbbell.
7-year-old.
And I was like, what? You have a dumbbell? No way, dude. And that starting from young is real integral. And if I had to leave anything with other fellow athletes that are younger than me or that wish to start in a sport, I believe that a sport helps with balance. A sport helps balance everything with life. So I live for physical fitness and any form of physical activity. I love the outdoors. I love challenging myself. I work in the industry as well. I study the industry. So it's become such a huge part of my life that I would encourage anybody to get involved with it. It helps with my stress. It helps with my anxiety. It helps basically to keep me calm. It helps to keep me sane. As crazy as it sounds, after a hard day, if I go for a small half-an-hour run, I come back feeling a lot better. It's like so therapeutic. It's crazy. Like it sounds weird, but it helps to focus on everything a little more. It just helps me to regain my thoughts. It helps me to literally forget everything
All the
else
worries and
that has been going on for the past couple of days, etc. And that for me, that's my only reason why I would encourage anybody to do it. It helps, beside keeping me fit, to beside helping me look good, etc. It just helps generally with a positive mindset to have a more clear thinking and just to be yourself while doing it.
well, I think that should be it. Huh?
Yeah, that is it. That is
Yeah,
it.
that should
So,
be it.
and I'd like to thank you for spending this couple of minutes with us, sharing your experiences,
knowledge.
all your knowledge, right? So, that is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
You're welcome. Shake it.